Hi YouTube, Celine here, and today in this video I am going to film my complete process from taking a brand from start to finish, basically from point A to point B. So yeah, let's get right into it. In this video, I'm going to be branding a spa resort, and this will be a concept brand. So I'm going to come up with the resort and like the resort name and all that from scratch. I don't really have an idea on that right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mood board together on what the spa will look like, and the look and feel of the spa itself and the experience that the spa wants to provide to its customers. And then I'll put together the branding mood board, and then we'll go on from there. A crucial step in our branding process is brand strategy, and brand strategy comes before we design anything, before we choose colors, illustrate, or create the logo, create the sub-logos, and so forth. And the reason why brand strategy is so important is because your brand needs to help you reach your business goals. Normally, our brand strategy process usually includes a 2-hour session and a 40-page document full of all the things that you need to know to grow your brand and maintain it. Because this is a concept project, I'm really going to condense the strategy aspect, otherwise it'd be an hour-long video. For the strategy, I created a client persona that summarizes the profile of most of Shinrin House's customers, and when we create the branding for Shinrin House, this is who we're trying to appeal to. Meet Olivia. She is 35 years old, and her pain points is she struggles with constant stress, overwhelm, and restlessness. She feels like she can never truly relax. She's always thinking about work, as she's a major workaholic, and she's thinking about all the problems she has to deal with in her work life and in her personal life. And what she needs is a sanctuary where she can really relax and let down her walls, reconnect with nature, and so forth. She wants a place where she can escape and truly feel at peace at. She doesn't want to be distracted by the stresses of her everyday life, such as meetings, phone calls, her kids, family errands, and so forth. So her goal is to implement a better work-life balance, and she wants to feel refreshed and wants to be more efficient in her career. She knows that in order to be more efficient, she needs to properly rest and relax. Our goal is to help people like Olivia and to help them see that Shinrin House is a perfect solution to their problems. She should already feel calm when she interacts with the brand, whether it's on the website, social media pages, etc. foods is like textural. I don't know if it should be like, so it could just be like, you know, it could be like Shinran. So now that you've seen the finished branding, I now want to explain the brand more in depth and explain my thinking behind all the decisions I made. To recap, we established that we wanted the brand to feel high-end and we wanted the brand to deliver a premium experience. At the same time, we wanted to convey comfort, relaxation, and healing. So this is the previous logo. I know this is a concept brand, but to make it more realistic, I found the default logo on Canva and used it. I normally see this when working with smaller businesses that want to scale. To quickly comment on the logo, it's a cliche use of the leaf to convey the forest, and the handwritten script font doesn't convey a high-end and premium feeling. Furthermore, the subtext below the main script type is a little bit too small. To expand a little bit more on Canva logos can't be trademarked. This means that you can never truly own your own logo. This also means that anyone can use the same logo design and your logo will never truly be original. The logo also isn't personalized and it isn't made specifically for your brand. It doesn't take your target audience and brand goals into mind. And here is a quick scroll through on the old website, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later on in the slide presentation. Here is the new primary logo mark that I came up with for the brand. This is the logo mark inverted in black and white, and here are the two black and white logos side by side. For the logo, we wanted to convey a high-end and luxury feel, but at the same time, we didn't want it to feel too sterile, sharp, or formal. I went with an all-caps logo, but chose a typeface that has subtle and organic curves that give it a more relaxing and comforting feel, as you can see here. I also spaced out the letters to give it a more refreshing feel and to give it more breathing space in general. These are the logo variations for the brand. It's so important to have a handful of logo variations because as your business grows and expands, your logo will show up in more places, such as brochures, on social media, the web, etc. Basically, places outside of your own website and social media. And each of these places requires different dimensions and requirements for your logo, so it's so important to have at least 2 logo variations for your brand. Here's the color palette for the Shinran brand. As you can see, it's different from the saturated green color palette that was present in the old website and logo. The reason why I strayed away from the saturated greens was because I wanted the monochrome color palette to help draw out the lush and gorgeous greens from the resort's photography. I didn't want the color palette to compete and clash with the beautiful photography, which I believe is the selling point of the brand. Moving on to the illustrations, I roughly hand drew forest trees, preserving their rough organic textures. And expanding on textures, I created another set of illustrations that were inspired by the tree textures that you might find in the forest. And before I expand more on the collateral that I designed, I really want to summarize forest bathing to help you understand why I emphasize textures and white space in my design. So basically, forest bathing is a practice that involves a full sensory immersion of the outdoors. It's a very conscious, mindful, and contemplative practice. Forest bathing is also a completely immersive experience, immersion in the sights, sounds, smells, touch, texture, taste, and more. People walk around the forest barefoot, they feel the textures of the forest with their hands, and they breathe in the forest air, and it's supposed to be a relaxing, refreshing, and healing experience. And because you're not around a lot of distractions like you are in your normal everyday life, you notice a lot of the small details in the forest. So my goal with the Shinran House brand is to invite texture as a part of the brand experience, even if you're not necessarily forest bathing or in the forest. At the same time, I really want to keep brevity and white space for a calming and non-cluttered experience, akin to a breath of fresh air. With that in mind, I envision texture being used on paper, perhaps through embossment/debossment that can be achieved through using a letterpress. I think it'd be fun to use textures on a menu because you have this textural experience while you read the menu, and then you have a textural experience when you're eating. And here is a closer look at what the textures can look like on paper. Having different textures and bumps on the paper invites people to touch and run their fingers over them, just like how they would in a forest, or in a forest bathing scenario. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the website aspect of the brand. So the old website was very cluttered, it was clunky and outdated, and it didn't really communicate high-end and a premium experience. For the website, I designed a quote-unquote bad before website. I got a lot of inspiration from other poorly designed websites in the same industry. Of course, I won't list and name them here, but these design elements are pulled from a variety of badly designed resort websites. When you scroll through the site, it doesn't communicate a high-end and premium experience. It's hard to believe that someone would book a stay for thousands of dollars after scrolling through the site. Like I mentioned before, the saturated green colors clash with the photography. The website reflects a cheaper motel stay instead of a high-end, one-of-a-kind resort experience. And now here's the new website. In the new rebranded website, we reduced as much clutter as we could. We also implemented the new logo and branding elements. As you see, the neutral color palette doesn't compete with the gorgeous and lush photos. Instead, it helps draw out the photos and help them stand out and truly shine. Also, instead of cramming a lot of text and clutter on the homepage, I reduced the text and included a button that allows the reader to read more on a different page if they wish. And that's the brand for Shinran House. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so I know to create more content like this. Also, if you want to see more branding content, feel free to follow me on Instagram at lintran.co. I post a lot more frequently on Instagram and I would love to connect with you there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!